Okay, some of you asked me to go over the top of this video with sound to see strategies, what I'm thinking, what we're thinking, what's going on, and of course, you got to have fun with this. It's supposed to be fun, it's just a game. So, I'm going to do that. And I actually watched this video and I saw a lot of mistakes. So, hopefully, the mistakes that I'm making, and yes, if you can't be critical of yourself, there could be a problem. But I'll do that and help you guys out and show you some of the things that I see. First and foremost, this is video from a beach outside of Tokyo, which is on the east side of Japan, and it's on some TV station. To give you a setup, that's Robin Davis. Robin is a head women's coach at Notre Dame University in South Bend. Super good guy. Played at Northern Arizona. Just a good man. This is Hooper. I can't remember his first name, but very successful beach volleyball player in the late 70s, mid 70s. This is Jim Mingus. For a while, he had the record of the most open wins. Kind of a legend on the beach, and he's a little bit older than I am, but he made a comeback and he played in this tournament against us. Really nice man, very nice guy. I think he had over 50 open wins in professional tournaments, so very successful. Hooper had a number of them too, so between the two of them they had over 70 open wins. Good team, but maybe a tiny bit past their prime, but both really good guys. At the time I was living in Japan, and the company that put on this promotional tournament called and said if I'd play. Well, everybody else flew out. I was already there, so to give you a setup, I was playing for a club team in Tokyo. That's Steve Salmons, played for UCLA. He was a gold medalist in '84. It's funny, the sky ball. This day was really windy, super windy. In fact, later in the day, all these people left because the wind was howling so much. So a sky ball is sometimes pretty effective in the wind. Personally speaking, I never had a problem with them. I thought they were easy to pass, but some people struggle. And just to give you a setup, this beach is running, east to west, so the wind is blowing straight across the court, so there really isn't a good side. It's windy on both. Great set by Robin. Don't laugh at the hair, please. It's in the 80s. Pink shorts. Good Lord. I only wore pink or paisley. That was my thing. Good block by Robin. If you watch this again, you can see how far off the net Hooper is setting Mingus. That is a terrible set. It's too deep. Again, it's super windy, but this is a tough ball for Robin to make a play off of just because he's so deep. And that's my fault. And just so you guys know, the reason I always set and went to my knees, because if he got blocked, I was already there to cover. And usually the ball doesn't go very far. So already being down, setting, going to your knees, and it doesn't hurt. Allows you to cover your hitter, cover your partner. Great play by Robin. Terrible set. We've talked about this before. You can see on this serve that you want to make people uncomfortable. And I'm going back now. This is the last attack by Robin. If you can see, you really can't. But this particular person over here was uncomfortable passing to the right side of his body. So that's where you want to serve, and you want to make them uncomfortable. And for you guys that are learning to play beach with me, this is really important to see. Just see how people stand and want to serve receive. You want to make them uncomfortable, so if you can tell kind of here that he's a left side passer, I'm going to serve it to his right side just so we can get that bad pass, because every bad pass on the beach means it's going to be a tougher ball to hit, requires a better set. Terrible defense. Again, if you can't be your own critic, who can? playing with one hand is silly. On the beach, you can mangle the first touch, just like you can indoors. I should have stepped into this and taken it with my body instead of trying to play it with one hand. So that's a mistake. Really deep set. Sometimes when the set's off the net and you make the decision to stay to block, you change, your posture changes. You're now not going to terminate that attack. You're just trying to take the pace off of it and push it up in the air. So your hands go from penetrating over the net to up higher. And then you're taking the pace off the attack and trying to get your partner to get a free ball out of it. Again with a sky ball. Little better set, but that's not his fault. That's not Robin's fault. That's mine. That ball's too far off the net. You really got to push your sets to the net. No matter where you on the court, they've got to be to the net. Can't be playing this game from 10 feet. It just doesn't work. Little Sarah will love that one. I'll show you again. She knows what I'm talking about. I've gone back, you guys, a little bit. Going to look this ball off, so show the line but hit the angle. And you could see my body was facing the ocean. Again with the pink shorts, good Lord. Every ball has to be pushed to the net for your partner. You have to allow them to make a play. You don't want to play at 10 feet. Everything has to be pushed to the net. Oh, shoot, where is he? Jack Kagoma is right here. And he was an American that spoke fluent Japanese. The funniest man. He was hilarious. He was so funny. There's Jack. Okay, no laughing at the pink zinc oxide. Back then, people thought that if you covered your nose, it wouldn't sunburn. Actually, now they found out that it makes it worse. You get even more sunburn. But, you know, at the time, I was full of myself, a little bit of rebel, so I'm going to wear pink as much as I can just to, you know, stand away from everybody a little bit. Please don't laugh. I don't do it anymore. Again, Robbins had a great career with Biola, Northern Arizona. He was a head coach at Boise State for a few years, and then he moved on to Notre Dame, and he's there now. Sandy Fishburne, one of the best players that ever played against. Super smart guy. He was a Stanford grad, civil engineer. He only played every once in a while. If he played all the time, he would have been phenomenal. He looks kind of like Robert Redford, to be honest with you, but this guy was good. He was a good player. It's Dusty Dvorak. Played for USC. He was an All-American setter and a gold medalist in 1984 in LA. Steve Salmons, gold medalist, 84. If the sound were on this right now, it's all in Japanese. Couldn't understand it anyway. That's where you want the set to be. 2 to 3 feet off, down to cover. Now we're going to let Robin know where to hit it. So my vision should be back here seeing where Dusty's partner is, because I'm going to guide Robin on where to hit it, especially with this much wind, because the ball, once it goes into the air, is going to move. So you have to become his eyes once it's set. Always talking, letting each other know what you're going to do, what the plan is. He's holding the ball so they can't see what he's saying. Now people use hand signals behind their back. Yeah, sometimes you just got to make a play. It's a good shot by Andy Fishburne, but you still got to play because you know your defender, your partner behind you, isn't going to be able to get that ball. No, I think that was the same play. Ah, it's 2 in a row. Remember, back then, you guys, you only scored points when you served. It was side-out scoring. Now you guys play rally. But they took the side-out away because matches lasted too long. And you switched at 5s. Now you guys switch at 7s in tournaments. So any combination of 5 points versus 7, what it is today. Remember, outdoors, I'll go back a little bit and look at that set again. You can hold the ball longer. So indoors you can't bring it below your chin, but outdoors you can, and that's to compensate for the wind and the elements. But this isn't that bad of a set. Some people carry it even lower, and that is legal. The only people I discourage from carrying it really low are setters, the setters indoors. I don't want your hand carriage that low, but if you're an outside hitter, right side, middle, playing in the sand, go ahead and develop your hands down low. And we've talked about that many times. Carry your hands lower. So indoors, if I were reffing this set, I think I'd probably call it. Just, well, maybe not. It's not that low, but you can carry the ball lower in your hand carriage outdoors than you can indoors. Commercials. I told you it was on TV. They're not very long, so I'll just motor through it. Japan is such a wonderful place. If any of you get the chance to go there, go. It's just the neatest place in the world. People are great. It's super clean. Tokyo is a huge city, and I couldn't believe how clean it was. It was amazing. Even the taxi cabs, when you got in to take a ride to the tournament or whatever, I'm like, am I supposed to sit here? They had like lacy doilies on the seat, and they're spotless. It was amazing. Neat place. It was really fun. Nobody speaks English, so you go for days without talking. But, you know, and you always have a guide, like Jack was our guide for the club team I played for, but they're the friendliest, kindest people. I loved it. Not very good defense. It's not that good a shot by Dvorak. Should have been picked up. And I'm not going to share with you. I remember this now that I look at it, what my thoughts were. It was basically, this is the final, so the money was pretty decent, and motivation was not that high. We'd been playing for a long time, like 4 days straight, and fatigue was high. It was super windy, like I said. It's just not that much fun when it's windy, but you have to learn to play in the elements. Outside, you just do. Hit it out with a left hand. And then kind of pout about it. Not very smart. Too deep of a set. He doesn't have much of a play on the ball. Just all these things make such a difference. If you don't control the ball, it's just, you're going to lose points. I set Robin too deep. It's not his fault that this point's coming back or being lost by us. It's mine. Still too deep. Yeah, it's going to be very hard for him to get a kill. I'm going to go back and show you something real quick, how Robin just passed that ball. I see you guys do this indoors. You put your hands together out in front of your face to take it above your hands. Well, now you can open your hands to do it and take the first touch with your hands. But I've always encouraged all of you guys to do it this way, how Robin just does it, and I'll show you. See how he's taking it with the kind of the heel of his hands, but off to the side. He's not taking it down the midline. Outdoors back then, you couldn't pass a first touch with your hands unless the ball became dead. Robin didn't have that good of hands. So he's taking it with a hammer fist, but that hammer fist is off to the side, so his vision is not blocked. And this is what I've talked to you guys about before. When you open your palms and play this ball down the midline over your head, it just does not react. It doesn't come off cleanly at all. But when you hit it with the heel of your hand, by putting your hands together in a hammer fist and hitting the soft part of your, underneath your pinky finger, it's really meaty. In fact, a chef once told me that that's how you tell how a steak is done, by how firm that meat is in that part of your hand. Well, it's really soft and not very springy, and you get a lot of control. But he's taking this ball to the side and with his hands together, and that's how you should do it. Not put your hands together flat and pop it straight up. You can't see it. Nice kill. He measured, didn't follow through, but it's probably because the set was blown too tight. Not a very good block. Got to take more court away than that. That's taking his line into Robin, but you got to take more than that away. Too low. Made him rush to get to it. It's my fault. It's not his fault. Everybody's gone home. It was howling. And you could see it. So there you are. Again, talking about some of the things and strategies you do when you play on the beach, much different than indoors. So I hope you find it interesting, albeit a tad funny.